Time for a bathroom movie review. In a world of movie franchises, sequels, and reboots, Tron is following suit with a third film, Tron Ares. Now I know, everyone has an issue with reboots and sequels and all of that, but I've always thought Tron is a cool concept, and while I still want original movies, this is one sequel I did not regret seeing. Tron is directed by Joachim Ronning. I'm butchering that. But he's filmed some other big movies from Disney, one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, the Maleficent sequel, and as far as a fun premise and visual feats, this movie follows suit. Tron Ares follows a highly sophisticated AI program known as Ares. He's sent into the real world on a mission which involves two big corporate entities that are basically at war, or throughout this movie becoming a war, as they seek to get the upper hand. And this marks a new territory for the Tron franchise, as it's the first time that the digital world comes to the real world. First of all, we get some big names in this cast. We have Jared Leto, who I was pretty iffy about, but we'll get more to that later. We have Greta Lee, which I wasn't super familiar with, but she brings life to this movie. We have Evan Peters, Never Back Down, the X-Men franchise as Quicksilver, Jeffrey Dahmer, what are you, a vegetarian? And more. And we also get the legendary Jeff Bridges, who's basically the creator and god at this point in the franchise. So let's get right to it. Here's what I liked about this film. To start off, I did not think it was going to be that great. I expected it to be visually stunning, of course, but beyond that, not much. And although I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it, I loved this film. Yes, like I just said, it was visually stunning, it looked fantastic, but I also feel like Jared Leto brought a lot to the table on this one, or didn't bring a lot. By that I mean, I've never really seen a film with Jared Leto that I was just obsessed with, yeah, that guy's a great actor. Seems average, but I feel like they did the Keanu Reeves thing in this film. Now, Keanu Reeves is great, but in John Wick, he shines. Because to me, the fact that he doesn't have a lot of lines, that he's quiet, mysterious, makes John Wick awesome. So this is one of the first films I've seen where they rein Jared Leto back because he's an AI program that's learning. It makes it humorous, makes it more interesting. He sells it great, and it adds an emotional punch as you feel bad for him, as he's discovering himself, going through these different experiences. They also do some neat things. They have some callbacks to the original Tron movie, which by the way, I've never seen, and I admit I should, and I plan on it. I've only seen Tron Legacy and Ares. But yeah, there's some callbacks to that digital world. Obviously Jeff Bridges in his white robes because, he's the creator. He is... I don't want to get struck down. But he is the creator. And I'm really glad they amped up the violence in this movie. They made it PG-13, and maybe it's just me, but whenever I see a movie that's supposed to be like an action or sci-fi type film and it's PG, I'm a little let down. Tron Legacy is PG and is still a great film. I need to rewatch it. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard for me to compare if I liked Ares or Legacy more. But they definitely made this PG-13 for a reason. The action was fantastic. There's some emotional hits. And perhaps some people may get unalived. Or maybe they don't. You'll have to watch it. And then we have a great villain. Evan Peters sells it so well. We see him kind of going through this spiral, a very quick spiral to villainhood. Not that he started off as a great guy or anything, but I could appreciate it. You can almost sense the pressure he's going through, and I could relate. Not to the point where I'm trying to become a mastermind villain that may murder, involve myself in thievery, etc. Things villains do. But that feeling where you're under pressure and you're maybe not thinking the best, and you're usually you'd make a rational decision. When a salesman puts the pressure on you, you're okay, sure, I'll buy it. And then the next day, you're what the crap? Why didn't I say this or that? Or just say no? Well, that's what you see Evan Peters go through as the villain, and I loved it. Okay, his name's Dillinger. Can't remember his first name in this film, but you get the point. And in the end credits, you'll have to see it, but there's a very cool, what I think is a callback to the first film. I'm going to look more into it, but I'm hoping that means we get a sequel soon. Though based on the box office at this point, I doubt we will, because... it came in below expectations, only made a third of its budget back on opening weekend. Actually, a sixth of its budget because you gotta double it for marketing, so not looking too good for Disney. The critiques for this film. This was a hard one because I had a fun time. I feel like the movie was what it was supposed to be. I've seen a lot of people complain about how there's not a lot of plot, just visuals, and I guess to a small degree, I'll say that's correct, but I still thought the plot was good for what it needed to be. I guess I'd say the movie was an A. It would have been an A+, that they would have had some more oomph. Oh! But the plot was more a B level. But at the same time, this hasn't been a franchise that fully connects to each movie and it's an overarching story. They're kind of like solo movies that are in the bigger Tron universe. And they do connect, but it's not like a Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy or the MCU world. You get it. So yeah, for me, sure, the plot could have been a bit better, but I think they did a pretty good job. Oh, and my last complaint. Where was Tron? Who is Tron? I saw him for like, what, 5 minutes in the last movie? So I really need to see the first one because it's named Tron, and I haven't seen much Tron in the Tron franchise. Anyways, thanks for tuning in for this review, and remember, if you ever use the bathroom, which I hope you do, and you like movies, which I know you do, come back here for more of both.
Yeah!